J.J. Watt, released by the Houston Texans, signs big deal with the Arizona Cardinals. Now Deshaun Watson is the last of, I would say, the face of the franchise members of the Houston Texans, right? I would say the face of the franchises in Houston were these four guys: J.J. Watt, DeAndre Hopkins, and Jadeveon Clowney. Jadeveon Clowney doesn't appear to have a lot left, injures himself with the Titans, doesn't have a single sack last year. We'll see what kind of interest there is in him out on the market. Meanwhile, I would say good season for DeAndre Hopkins. I think certainly that Kyler Murray is incredibly excited to have DeAndre Hopkins. And now the question will be, what does J.J. Watt have left in the tank? But the biggest and most lucrative of all of those foursome that I just hit you with that define the Houston Texans over the past several years, now there's only one guy left who's the face of the franchise, and it's Deshaun Watson. What in the world is going to happen with Deshaun Watson? I'll tell you this. I'm starting to sense less of support for Deshaun Watson out there as this process plays itself out longer. Because I think a lot of people are starting to dive into the numbers and the data that I gave to you a while back, candidly. And I said, wait a minute. Why in the world would it make sense for Deshaun Watson to sign nearly a $160 million contract just last year and then suddenly decide, oh, I can't work with this team anymore? I don't have a lot of sympathy for him. I really don't. Because I understand you can be upset with some of the trades that were made, but they fired Bill O'Brien. So he had to lose his job because of the trades that he's made, which is how things go, and the results of those trades, which is how things go in the NFL. Head coach bears the brunt of the blame. But if you are a franchise quarterback, like Deshaun Watson is, one of the things that you are paid $160 million to guarantee is that your team never goes 4-12. And I know the Houston Texans have a lot of issues. And I know Deshaun Watson had a good year. But, the reason why they had to give up their pick this year to the Miami Dolphins is because Bill O'Brien was doing whatever he could to protect the blind side of Deshaun Watson. He didn't think they were going to go 4-12, but he said, I'm going to go get Laramie Tunsil, and I'm going to try to protect this dude so we don't get too many hits put on him. And if you are Deshaun Watson, you see all of these different moving parts out there. If you are at all unhappy with the direction of the Houston Texans franchise, you shouldn't have taken the $160 million. You could have demanded a trade before you signed on to that long-term deal. And I understand the idea of not being happy somewhere and wanting to get out as an athlete. And certainly the NBA athletes in the same city, to be fair, James Harden, have set that precedent where the minute I become unhappy, I demand a trade and I want to go somewhere else. But I don't look at the Houston Texans as such a failed franchise that you should be able to demand your way out of there. Look, in the last 10 years, the Houston Texans have gone to the postseason 6 times. They have won playoffs games 4 times. That's one of the most successful 25% of franchises in the NFL. Everybody who doesn't pay a lot of attention to the Houston Texans because they haven't been in an AFC championship game, they certainly haven't been in a Super Bowl, they haven't noticed that they've won the division a lot, that they've hosted a lot of home playoff games, and that they've won 4. And so, to me, what is standing out there in general is that Deshaun Watson has been on a team that's had a lot of success. And even the year before, you were up 24-0 on the road against Kansas City. And if Houston doesn't fall apart in that game, you are going to be in a position to host the AFC Championship game. So I just don't buy into this idea that the Houston Texans are some sort of awful franchise. The more I look at the relationship between Deshaun and the Houston Texans, the more I come around to the side of the Texans hold all the cards here. They don't have to trade him. If Deshaun Watson wants to sit out, that's fine. They don't even owe him that much money this year because he's still under his rookie deal. He doesn't even get his big money until next year. I am totally willing to listen to every offer. That's what every team should do every moment of every day. I've said this before. I don't want to sell my house, but if you come offer way more than I think it's worth, I'll sell in a heartbeat. And I think that's the way the Texans should be approaching this. They have all the cards here. I don't see how Deshaun Watson can force his way out at all.